What's up? What's up? What's up, people? Of course, I am DJ Kaz, and people, we just made history. TNA finally did something right. EC3, Ethan Carter III, is your new TNA. Well, I don't even know why I'm saying TNA. Is your new world champion of Impact Wrestling. Now, this is actually my first show watching Impact. I've been a TNA fan who has watched TNA from 2010 to 2013, and I left when EC3 first started. And I gotta say, that guy, he has come a long way. He has definitely done some great things. Of course, this is my little review that I'm gonna be doing. It was tonight's Impact Wrestling's Bell to Bell special. Definitely gonna get into the card, especially the main event, which was so great. And also talking about a little bit of Jeff Jarrett. Now, for all you people out there that are TNA supporters, I will be very critical tonight. Just don't take it out on me. Okay, now it was TNA bell to bell tonight, and we kicked off with the BDC versus the Rising. Now, this match was my least favorite match of the night. I mean, like to me, it just didn't have that faction versus faction type of feel. Like if you guys like know the Shield and the Wyvern when they went 1-on-1 last year, it had that like faction versus faction feel. It was like these two teams are just so dominant and they are just so like they follow what they go through in their team. They just like go at it. But it's just when it came to the BDC versus the Rising, and this was a 4-on-3 elimination match. I just was not into it. I mean, like, and for one, I don't even know why the heck Hernandez was even part of that match. He was barely in the match. I mean, like to me, he should have just been a manager, sitting on the outside. And like, I just think this should have been just simply 3-on-3, a simple 6-man elimination match. Of course, we all know that this episode of Bell to Bell was pre-taped, so really all this stuff on this show really didn't even matter as much, especially since low key we already know he's gone. So just it was just kind of weird. Like I said, it's just all this stuff, all the matches that we got tonight, they were taped. And also, I did not like the way the match was booked. I mean, you basically had the Rising look like jokes. That's the feeling I got because it's like, okay, one thing, it's already 4-on-3, so that means they would have like at least like had the rise and like pin Hernandez. Like I would have actually gotten him out because he was just there, like I said earlier. And I know that the guy who injured his knee, I know that probably wasn't part of the match. He might be like legit hurt, so I wish my well to him. But it's like Maka, like oof, and Drew Galloway, you have him go through like low key and Kenny King in a matter of 5 minutes, in a matter of 2 minutes, when they couldn't even, when it was like 3-on-4, they couldn't even get rid of him within 10 minutes. So this was my least favorite match of the night. I just did not enjoy it. And MVP, like, just did anybody notice that he was wrestling with his shirt on the entire time? That to me was just strange. Yeah, so and that was that. And apparently the Rising is no more. Apparently we all rised up for nothing because the BDC just took him out. I mean, don't we all know that Drew Galloway, he can just instantly like just get those guys back and just change the name and they'd still be feuding. Yeah, but anyway, okay. The next match was the Wolves versus actually no. Before we get that, there's actually a segment with Magnus, Mickey James, and James Storm, along with his one member of the Revolution, which I think the group sucks, to be honest with you. That segment was weird. That to me, they just put that there just to kill time. And Magnus, I was just laughing the entire time because he was talking. If you guys actually paid $40 for that crappy Slammiversary pay per view, me, I did not pay. I actually watched the replay yesterday, and from what I heard from Magnus tonight, it just seems like he was talking like he had won the match and it was like all over and done with. Mickey James coming out. I love Mickey James, but she did not sell like the whole like James started pushing her off the side like where the train was coming. Like she didn't sell that, and she didn't even like look injured or hurt, nothing. So that kind of killed me. James Storm actually, I gotta give him credit. Of course, he won at Slammiversary, so he didn't need to come out. I think I just thought that the whole segment was pointless. I just thought it was pointless. It did not need to be there. We should have just moved on to the next match. And like I said, Magnus acted like he won the match when he really didn't. He was acting like everything's all well and good. I figured he'd be like, I want a rematch. Like, I want to face you, James Storm. But again, he just didn't do it. Now we can move on to the next match. It was the Dirty Heels, Bobby Roode and Austin Aries versus the Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards for the vacant TNA World Tag Team titles. This was the final match in the best of 5 series. It was a 30-minute Iron Man match featuring tag teams. Now, this match, I'm a little iffy on this match because it was like they went on for about 25 minutes without getting one pinfall on each other. And then all of a sudden, like in the last 3 minutes, they all of a sudden start pinning each other. To me, it just kind of like makes me wonder, like, why wasn't this simply a 2 out of 3 falls match? Like, I could have gotten an enjoyable match out of that than I did the 30-minute Iron Man match. I mean, to me, it was like, honestly, before they got to the 3 minute mark, I just felt like it was just a standard tag team match. It didn't even feel like a 30-minute Iron Man match to me. The stipulation was just there. It was like, I just feel like the stipulation, the Iron Man match stipulation, it was not needed. They could have simply did 2 out of 3 falls, and I would have enjoyed the match even more. But the match definitely was enjoyable to watch. The last 3 minutes, I will say, was very good. I just don't think that the Iron Man match stipulation was needed because I don't think they utilized it enough. And especially like the way they got the second pin for the Wolves with a roll up. I would have liked to see like them using their tag team finisher, and I don't know, but was it just me or did the crowd look dead when the Wolves won? This is the Wolves' fourth TNA World Tag Team title reign, and they've only been there for a year, I think, more than a year. And they've already had 4 tag team titles. I mean, they are like the go-to team just to put the belts on them. I'm glad for David Richards and Eddie Edwards, but to me, it's just that they've won those belts way too many times. And it's like when you win the tag team titles way too many times, you just kill your status as a tag team. I mean, back when Beer Money had them at the TNA World Tag Team titles, at least they won them like a year and then like 2 years later, or maybe like a month, or maybe like 5 months later. They didn't like rush tag team titles. And I know the third reign wasn't their fault. I mean, it just ended because Eddie Edwards got hurt. But yeah, again, the Wolves walk away with the win. Maybe we'll get some Hardys versus. Maybe we get the Hardys versus the Wolves for the TNA Tag Team titles again. Right now, the tag team division in TNA is really not looking up right now, especially since the Wolves are right now the only team that I see. And since Austin Aries is gone technically, because we all know again that was Tate, which I think was stupid. But yeah, the tag team division is not looking bright. But again, congratulations to the Wolves. You won. Okay, the next match that on the bell to bell card was the 3-way match between Terrence Terrell, the champion, Awesome Kong, and Brooke. This match was all right. I mean, it honestly was just fine. The Dollhouse, I really do not get the Dollhouse. I don't understand their purpose. I don't know why they're there, and their theme song sucks. It is terrible. But Terrence Terrell, like I said, I haven't been really following her rank. Like I said, I just started watching Impact tonight. This is my first show, but I have followed her reign a bit. And from what I heard, she's a good champion. This is like her 225-day reign as the Knockouts champion. I will say this though: the Knockouts division surpasses the WWE Divas division every day of the week, and I think we all know that by now. But again, Terrence Terrell got the win. That's all I got from that match. Awesome Kong to me was entertaining. Like she just kept stomping, just stomping on everyone. I thought that was entertaining. And then I see a little vignette featuring Gail Kim apparently is coming back. Maybe we'll get a little program between Gail Kim and Terrence Terrell. That could be great stuff. Okay, before I get to the main event, apparently we had a part 1 interview with Jeff Jarrett and his wife Karen Jarrett, because we all know Jeff Jarrett, of course, he is the owner of Global Force Wrestling, the wrestling company that is getting more advertisement time than TNA, and they don't even realize it. All Jeff Jarrett said, yes, there is going to be some kind of partnership with TNA and Global Force Wrestling, and wait and see. And I was just sitting there like, okay, we got a GFW Invasion angle coming up. We all know what's going to happen. And TNA, they just really don't realize that Global Force Wrestling is playing that they are getting more time of advertising their program than TNA is advertising themselves, which I really don't get, especially with the King of the Mountain Championship, which, by the way, is the TNA Legends, Global, and TV title that right now Jeff Jarrett is on. Yes, people, Jeff Jarrett is still winning matches in 2015 against new stars. Yeah, okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and get to the main event. Our main event for Bell to Bell tonight, it was the TNA World Heavyweight Championship was on the line. It was the challenger EC3 versus the champion Kurt Angle. This match was great. I loved every single thing about this match. It was just great, spot on. I really liked the fact that they had us like going to death backstage, like to see where EC3 and Kurt Angle were coming. To me, it was just amazing. It definitely gave you that big fight feel that something good was gonna happen. There's just one problem. Am I the only one out there that I cannot be the only one out there that thinks that this moment would have been so much better if this was actually on pay per view than on free TV. I know I cannot be the only one out there. In fact, all the matches on this belt to belt card I figured should have been on the anniversary card, not on free TV. That is another issue that TNA has been doing. They do not know how to run a freaking wrestling company. It's aggravating. But yeah, back to the main event. Like I said, the match was definitely good for what it was worth. EC3 kicked out of the angle slam twice, I believe, which kind of shocked me. I actually kind of figured he was going to win because, like I said, again, this episode was taped. I mean, it was already pre-taped, which kind of killed the value for me as a wrestling fan. I didn't like the interference from Tyrus. I really did kind of like see what EC3 wanted to do on his own. I mean, it's bad enough that we have Seth Rollins and he's the champion and he's doing chicken shit out there, and we don't need another Seth Rollins. Like I need to see EC3 on his own doing stuff. Tyrus can be there just to be there. Kurt Angle, of course, did his part too. We all know he was going to do his part. Like the moment that EC3 was caught in the ankle lock, I legitimately, I'll admit, I was one of the fools that really believed that he was going to tap. I mean, like he like legitimately made me believe he was going to tap. But again, but I don't like the ending of the match though. I mean, he won with a rollout. I mean, couldn't he have just hit his finisher one more time and then he would like, yes, I beat you, I pinned you. But now I think they were gonna give him a lot of crap because he won with a roll up and not with the finisher, like a legit pin. And that was the end of Bell to Bell. My overall thoughts on this show, for this being my first TNA show I've watched in 2 years, I'll give it a C. The reason why I'm going to give it a C, mainly because I cannot get over the fact that TNA they pre-tape these tapings prior to their Slammiversary pay-per-view. Not to mention the fact that they use their Slammiversary pay-per-view to build towards this show instead of using the show to build towards the pay-per-view. And also, I have no issue with every single championship match that I said was on this card tonight should have been on the anniversary card. EC3's moment as world champion would have been great. It would have been so much better if it was just on a pay-per-view. Let him have his moment, not on free TV. Need I mind you that people actually paid 40 something dollars to pay for a pay-per-view that really did not matter, and yet we got these fans out there that are get to see him win the world title for free. His moment should have been on a pay-per-view, not on free TV. But like I said, just for a bell to bell show, first show I've watched, like I said, give it a C. It was just five what it was worth. All right, people, that is it for my little edition of the CNJ Wrestling Talk review. Let me know how I did, and I will catch you later. See you around.